The story opens in the quiet observation deck of the human space station, New Dawn, orbiting Earth's moon. Lieutenant Commander Jake Miller sits alone. MONITORING Deep Space Communications when an unusual signal breaks through the static. Transmission is weak, fragmented, and filled with what sounds like sobbing. The alien voice speaks in broken galactic standard, a language humans learned only 3 years ago when they first made contact with the Galactic Federation. The message is simple but terrifying. Please ... anyone. The devourers have come, our worlds burn ... children crying ... Please help us. Jake immediately alerts Captain Emma Ross, a stern woman with graying hair and battle scars from humanities. Recent conflicts. She listens to the recording with growing concern. The transmission originates from the Kepler system, home to the peaceful Verdani species, plant-like beings known throughout the galaxy for their pacifist nature and advanced agricultural technology. Within hours, the full message is decoded. The Verdani homeworld and 3 colony planets are under attack by an unknown force calling themselves the Devourers. These raiders strip planets bare, taking everything of value and leaving behind lifeless rocks. The Verdani, having no military and believing in peaceful solutions, are helpless against the brutal assault. The Galactic Federation, dominated by species from garden worlds with mild climates and gentle evolution, debates endlessly about sending aid. They form committees, discuss diplomatic solutions, and propose economic sanctions against the attackers. Meanwhile, more desperate transmissions arrive from the Kepler system, each one weaker than the last. Captain Ross calls an emergency meeting with Earth's military council. The room fills with hardened veterans from various human conflicts. General Marcus Stone, a tall man with cybernetic implants from the Mars colony wars, slams his fist on the table. While those Federation cowards talk, innocent beings are dying, he growls. The debate is brief. Humans, having evolved on a death world where survival meant constant struggle against predators, natural disasters, and each other, understand one thing clearly. Sometimes violence is the only answer to violence. They vote unanimously to send help, even though Earth isn't officially part of any galactic alliance yet. The hastily assembled rescue fleet consists of 5 ships, 3 heavy cruisers, 1 carrier, and a medical vessel. They're crewed by 800 humans, mostly military personnel with some civilian volunteers. Among them is Dr. Lisa Park, a trauma surgeon who insists on joining despite the danger, and Sergeant Tom Wilson, a demolitions expert known for his creative solutions to difficult problems. As the fleet prepares to jump to faster-than-light travel, they receive one final transmission from the Kepler system. This time, it's not a play for help, but a goodbye message. Elder Moss, the leader of the Verdani, speaks with quiet dignity. To whoever might hear this, we thank you for listening to our calls. Our people face extinction, but we do not blame the galaxy for abandoning us. We understand fear. Please remember us kindly. The transmission cuts to static. Captain Ross addresses her crew over the ship's communication system. Her voice is steady, but filled with determination. We're heading into unknown territory to face an enemy we know nothing about. The Federation thinks we're crazy. Maybe we are. But I'd rather be crazy than let innocent people die while bureaucrats debate. The fleet jumps to hyperspace, leaving Earth's solar system behind. In the cargo holds, weapons are checked and rechecked. Marines practice boarding procedures. Engineers work around the clock to modify human technology for combat they've never faced before. As they travel through the void between stars, Jake monitors communications, hoping to hear anything from the Verdani. The silence grows heavier with each passing hour. The other crew members try to stay optimistic, but doubt creeps in. Are they already too late? Dr. Park sets up the medical bay, preparing for casualties. She's seen human warfare, but alien combat is completely unknown. She packs extra supplies, not knowing what kind of injuries to expect. Sergeant Wilson checks his explosives inventory, muttering about alien armor and weapon systems he's never encountered. 3 days into the journey, they receive an automated distress beacon from a Verdani research station on the edge of the Kepler system. The message is simple: station overrun, all hands lost. Devourers moving toward homeworld. Estimated arrival, 6 hours. Captain Ross orders maximum speed. The human fleet pushes their engines beyond safe limits, racing against time. As they approach the Kepler system, long-range sensors detect massive energy signatures and the heat bloom of orbital bombardment. The final transmission comes as they drop out of hyperspace. Silence. Complete, absolute silence where 4 thriving worlds once broadcast music, literature, and joy across the cosmos. The humans have arrived at what appears to be a graveyard of civilizations, but they're not leaving without a fight. Asterisk. The human fleet emerges from hyperspace to witness devastation beyond imagination, where the Verdani homeworld once bloomed with massive tree cities and floating gardens. Only a charred husk remains. The atmosphere glows orange from continent-sized fires. Orbital debris clouds the space around dead planets like metallic snow. Captain Ross stares at the tactical display, her jaw clenched. Scan for survivors, she orders quietly. The bridge crew works in stunned silence, their instruments detecting no life signs from the surface. 4 billion Verdani, gone in less than a week. Suddenly, sensor operator Kelly James calls out, "Contact." Large ship formation, bearing 27 Mark IV. On the main screen, massive vessels appear, each one larger than a human city. Their hulls are black metal covered in spikes and weapon arrays. These are the Devourers. The alien ships turn toward the human fleet with predatory grace. A communication signal crackles through the static. The voice that emerges is cold, mechanical, and speaks perfect galactic standard. Unknown vessels, you enter Devourer territory. Submit for harvesting or be destroyed. Your choice is irrelevant. Captain Ross activates the fleet-wide channel. All ships, battle stations, remember why we're here. She switches to the alien frequency. This is Captain Emma Ross of the Earth Defense Fleet. You've made a terrible mistake. The Devourer commander laughs, a sound like grinding metal. Foolish. Mammals from the small blue world. We know of your species. Weak, short-lived, primitive. You cannot stop what has already begun. Maybe not, Ross replies, but we're going to try anyway. The space battle begins immediately. Devourer ships fire energy beams that slice through. Vacuum, targeting the human vessels. But the humans don't fight like the peaceful Federation species. Where other races might form neat battle lines, the human ships scatter like startled fish, using erratic patterns learned from centuries of warfare. The heavy cruiser Revenge takes a direct hit to its port side, armor plating exploding into space. Captain Mike Torres doesn't retreat. Instead, he orders his ship to ram straight toward the nearest Devourer vessel, firing everything they have. If we're going down, we're taking them with us. The human carrier Thunderbolt launches waves of fighter craft that swarm around the massive alien ships like angry wasps. The pilots use suicide runs and kamikaze tactics that confuse the Devourers, who expect organized, predictable combat. Lieutenant Amy Chun guides her fighter between 2 Devourer ships, detonating her payload to damage both vessels before ejecting at the last second. On the bridge of the command ship, General Stone coordinates. The attack. Target their weapon systems first, engines second. Don't try to destroy them outright. We need to learn how they work. The humans fight with calculated fury, each move designed to gather intelligence while inflicting maximum damage. The Devourers begin to retreat, something they've never done before. Their commander contacts the human fleet again, his voice now uncertain. What manner of creatures are you? Your tactics make no sense. You fight like you welcome death. Captain Ross smiles grimly. We don't welcome it. We just aren't afraid of it. There's a difference. During the battle, Jake intercepts Devourer communications. Their language is complex, but the translation software begins to decode fragments. What he discovers chills him to the bone. The Devourers aren't just raiders, they're locusts, moving from galaxy to galaxy, consuming entire civilizations. The Verdani were just their first course dot as the alien ships limp away into deep space. The humans survey the battlefield. They've lost the Revenge and taken heavy casualties, but they've accomplished something no other species has done. They've made the Devourers retreat. Dr. Park works frantically in the medical bay, treating wounded crew members. The injuries are unlike anything she's seen: energy burns that go down to the bone, radiation poisoning from alien weapons. But she saves every life she can, because that's what humans do. Sergeant Wilson leads a boarding party onto a damaged Devourer ship that couldn't escape. The interior is a nightmare of dark corridors and alien machinery. Strange symbols cover the walls, and the air smells like burning copper. They find databanks and weapon schematics, information that might help defend other worlds. As the human fleet regroups, they detect something impossible. A faint life sign from the Verdani homeworld. Someone survived the orbital bombardment. Captain Ross doesn't hesitate. Prepare a rescue shuttle. We're going down there. The mission changes from revenge to rescue. The humans came to fight, but now they have a chance to save at least some of the people they failed to protect. As shuttles launch toward the burning planet below, the crew knows they're walking into hell itself, but humans have survived hell before. They've learned to thrive in it. The rescue shuttle Hope cuts through the toxic atmosphere of the dying Verdani homeworld. Captain Ross leads the mission personally, accompanied by a squad of Marines and Dr. Park. Through the shuttle's windows, they see a landscape from Nightmare's forests reduced to ash, cities melted into glass, and rivers that run black with chemical poison. The life sign originates from an underground bunker beneath what was once the Verdani capital. As the shuttle lands in the ruins, the team dons environmental suits. The air outside contains radiation levels that would kill most species within minutes. But humans evolved on a world with dangerous storms, toxic plants, and deadly predators. Their equipment reflects this harsh reality. Sergeant Wilson uses shaped charges to blow open the bunker entrance, revealing a shaft that descends deep into the planet's crust. Looks like they went way down, he reports, testing the air with his scanner. Atmosphere's breathable once we get past the surface contamination. The descent takes an hour through collapsed tunnels and broken machinery. Emergency lighting flickers weakly, casting strange shadows on the walls. Dr. Park notices that the Verdani built their shelters like gardens, with growing chambers and water recycling systems designed to sustain life indefinitely. At the bottom, they find them, 300 Verdani survivors, mostly children and elders, huddled together in a chamber that was once a hydroponic farm. Their plant-like bodies are withered from radiation exposure and lack of sunlight. Many are dying. Elder Moss, the same leader who sent the final transmission, approaches the humans with trembling limbs. His bark-like skin shows burn scars from them. The bombardment above. You came, he whispers in broken galactic standard. But why? The Federation abandoned us. Captain Ross removes her helmet, breathing the recycled air to show trust. We're not the Federation. We're humans. And we don't. And in people who need help. Dr. Park immediately begins medical triage, working with medicines and techniques designed for human physiology. The Verdani biology is completely different. but she adapts quickly, using broad-spectrum treatments and improvised solutions. Her years treating combat wounds serve her well, as she saves lives that other doctors might have given up on. While the medical team works, Jake's communication equipment picks up Devourer transmissions. The alien fleet has regrouped and is returning with reinforcements. They're bringing a planet-killer weapon, intending to finish what they started. The humans have less than 12 hours. General Stone, coordinating from orbit, faces an impossible choice. The human fleet is outnumbered 10-1 by the returning Devourers. Standard military doctrine would be to evacuate the survivors and retreat. But humans don't always follow standard doctrine. We're not running, Stone announces to his captains. Every species in this galaxy will be watching. If we show that the Devourers can be fought, others might find courage to resist. The plan they develop would seem insane to any Federation strategist. Instead of meeting the Devourer fleet in space, the humans will use the planet itself as a weapon. Sergeant Wilson leads teams to the surface, placing massive explosive charges in unstable geological formations. When the Devourers arrive to finish their planet killing, they'll find a world that fights back. The Verdani survivors are loaded onto shuttles, but Elder Moss refuses to leave. "This is our world," he says simply. "Some of us should stay to see its final moment." Several other adult Verdani volunteer to remain behind, helping the humans prepare their desperate defense dot as the Devourer fleet approaches. They're massive. Ships blotting out the stars. Captain Ross positions her vessels in low orbit. The aliens expect another conventional space battle. Instead, they encounter something unprecedented. The moment the Devourer planet killer begins its bombardment sequence, Wilson detonates his charges. Volcanoes erupt across 3 continents simultaneously. The planet's crust shifts and cracks, releasing geothermal energy that had been building for millennia. Massive chunks of rock and molten lava launch into space like natural artillery. The Devourer ships, designed to bombard planets from a safe distance, suddenly find themselves under attack by the planet itself. Their formation breaks as they try to avoid continent-sized projectiles, traveling at orbital velocity in the chaos. The human fleet strikes. Small, fast ships dart between the massive alien vessels, targeting critical systems with precision weapons. They fight like guerrillas in space, using hit-and-run tactics that exploit the Devourer's confusion. Dr. Park, still working in the underground bunker, feels the planet shake around her. "Are we winning?" asks a young Verdani she's treating. She looks up through a crack in the ceiling, seeing fire and explosions painting the sky in brilliant colors. "I think we're teaching them what it means to fight humans." Above them, the battle reaches its climax as 2 different philosophies of warfare collide in the burning sky. Asterisk, the Devourer fleet commander, watches his tactical display with growing disbelief. Half his ships are damaged or destroyed, not by superior technology or numbers, but by crude tactics that defy all military logic. The humans fight like the planet itself is their weapon, using desperation and creativity where other species rely. On protocol, impossible, he growls into his communicator. How can these primitives challenge the Devourer Empire? We have consumed 1,000 worlds. Captain Ross, her uniform torn and face streaked with soot, responds over the open channel. Maybe that's your problem. You've only fought victims. Today, you're fighting predators. The battle shifts as more human reinforcements arrive, not military ships, but civilian vessels hastily converted for combat. Mining ships equipped with industrial cutting lasers, cargo haulers loaded with improvised explosives, even a luxury liner whose wealthy passengers voted to ram a Devourer cruiser rather than flee. Earth had sent everything that could fly and fight. On the planet's surface, Elder Moss watches the sky burn with wonder and terror. He's lived for 3 centuries and seen the Verdani develop from simple farmers to spacefaring gardeners. But never has he witnessed such beautiful, terrible violence. "Your species," he asks Dr. Park as she tends to wounded Verdani. "How did you survive your own world?" Dr. Park pauses, considering the question while bandaging a child's radiation burns. "We learned that sometimes the only way to preserve life is to be willing to destroy death itself. It sounds backwards, but that's humans for you." Above them, the decisive moment arrives. The Devourer flagship, a massive vessel called the Harvest, begins charging its planet-killer weapon despite the ongoing battle. Its commander has decided that destroying this world is worth sacrificing the rest of his fleet. General Stone recognizes the energy signature building in the alien ship's core. "All vessels, we have 30 seconds before they crack this planet open. Anyone got ideas?" It's Sergeant Wilson who provides the answer. Still on the surface with his demolition teams, he's been studying the geological data from their volcanic bombardment. "Sir, I can trigger a resonance cascade in the planet's core. Turn the whole world into one big bomb. But someone needs to stay behind to detonate it manually." The channel falls silent. Everyone understands what Wilson is suggesting. Sacrifice the planet and everyone still on it to destroy the Devourer fleet. It's a typically human solution. Save the many by accepting the loss of the few. Captain Ross makes the hardest decision of her career. Do it. But Elder Moss steps forward, placing a gnarled hand on Wilson's shoulder. "This is our world to sacrifice, not yours. My people know these systems better than anyone." Other Verdani volunteers gather around him, their faces calm with acceptance. Wilson argues, but the Verdani elder is firm. "You came across the galaxy to save us. Now let us save you." He takes the detonation device with surprising gentleness. "Besides, someone needs to tell the galaxy what happened here. Let it be the humans who rescued us, not the Verdani who died." The evacuation is frantic and heartbreaking. Shuttles carry the remaining survivors to the human fleet, while Devourer weapons rain down around them. Dr. Park refuses to leave until the last patient is loaded, nearly missing her own escape shuttle dot as the human fleet pulls back to minimum. Safe distance, Elder Moss and 12 other Verdani remain in the planet's core chamber. They work with tools designed for gardening, not warfare, but their knowledge of planetary systems runs deeper than any other species. The Devourer, planet killer, reaches full charge just as Moss activates the resonance cascade. The dying worlds. Core destabilizes in a chain reaction that spreads faster than light, turning the entire planet into a stellar-level explosion. Asterisk, asterisk. The blast vaporizes the Devourer flagship instantly. The shockwave destroys half the remaining alien fleet and cripples the rest. In the space of 5 seconds, the mighty Devourer Armada becomes scattered debris and fleeing survivors. But the explosion does more than win a battle. The energy release creates a quantum resonance that spreads across the galaxy, a signal that cannot be hidden or suppressed. Every spacefaring civilization witnesses the moment a dead world rose up to strike down its killer's dot as the human fleet limps away from the expanding fireball that was once the Verdani homeworld. They carry with them 300 survivors and a message that will change everything. The age of easy conquest is over. The Devourers learned something new that day. Some prey bites back, and humanity had just announced itself as the galaxy's apex predator. Asterisk. 6 months after the Battle of Kepler, the Galactic Federation Council chambers buzz with unprecedented tension. Representatives from hundreds of worlds gather to debate a single question: what to do about the humans. Ambassador Lisa Park, formerly Dr. Park, now serving as Earth's first diplomatic representative, stands before the assembly. Behind her, holographic displays show the aftermath of humanity's intervention. The Devourer Empire, once an unstoppable force, has retreated to the galaxy's outer rim. Their expansion has stopped completely. The humans violated 17 interstellar laws, declares the crystalline delegate, his voice chiming like broken glass. They initiated first contact through warfare, destroyed an inhabited planet, and disrupted galactic peace through violence. Elder Moss, now serving as speaker for the Verdani refugees, rises on unsteady limbs. His people have been scattered across dozens of worlds, but they survive because of human intervention. The crystallines speak of laws while my children breathe, because humans were willing to break them. The debate that follows reveals the deep divisions in galactic civilization. Species from garden worlds, who evolved in peaceful environments, see humanity's actions as barbaric and dangerous. They propose sanctions, quarantine, even preemptive strikes against Earth. But other voices speak up. The Miners' Guild, whose asteroid colonies face constant devourer raids, sends a simple message. We want to hire human security forces. The Traders' Union reports that shipping losses have dropped 90% along routes protected by human patrol ships. Captain Ross, now promoted to Admiral, watches the proceedings from the observer's gallery. Beside her sits Jake, who has become Earth's foremost expert on alien communications. Think they'll vote to attack us? He asks quietly. Ross shakes her head. They're too afraid. Not of our weapons, but of what we represent. For the first time in galactic history, someone proved that the strong can be defeated by the determined. The vote, when it comes, is closer than expected. The Federation officially censures humanity for excessive use of force and violation of established protocols. But they also extend an invitation for Earth to join the Federation as a provisional member with military advisory status. It's a compromise that satisfies no one completely, but acknowledges reality. The galaxy needs humanity more than humanity needs the galaxy. The changes begin immediately. Human military advisors are dispatched to threatened worlds, teaching Federation species tactics they've never considered. The peaceful gardener civilization learns to set traps and fight from cover. The scholarly archivists develop information warfare techniques. Even the pacifist healers create combat medical protocols. Not all the lessons are about warfare. Humans also teach adaptation, improvisation, and the concept that survival sometimes requires breaking rules. Dr. Park establishes the first galactic trauma centers, teaching alien medics to treat injuries they've never seen before. The Verdani refugees become humanity's first alien allies. Their agricultural knowledge, combined with human engineering, begins terraforming dead worlds at unprecedented speed. They grow food in environments that would kill other species, turning scrap metal and asteroid dust into fertile soil. But the most significant change is psychological. The galaxy's prey species are learning to think like predators. Trade routes shift from the center of galactic civilization toward the outer rim, where human patrols have created safe zones. Young aliens volunteer for human-led security forces, eager to learn the fighting techniques that stop the Devourers. The Devourer Empire, meanwhile, faces internal collapse. Their entire culture was built on the assumption that resistance is futile, that advanced civilizations will always surrender to superior force. Humanity's victory has sparked rebellions across their territory, has conquered species. Remember how? To fight back. Reports reach Federation space of devourer worlds going dark, their populations vanishing, not through conquest, but through exodus. Former slaves are stealing ships and fleeing toward human-protected space, hoping to find sanctuary with the species that taught the galaxy to say no. Admiral Ross stands on the bridge of her new flagship, the Verdani Memorial, watching long-range sensors track Devourer fleet movements. They're retreating deeper into the galactic void, but everyone knows they'll be back eventually. Next time, they'll come prepared for human tactics. Let them come, Ross tells her mixed human-alien crew. By then, they won't just be fighting humans. They'll be fighting everyone we've taught to fight back. Jake, now serving as the ship's communications officer, receives a transmission from Earth. It's a simple message from the Global Defense Council. 17 more species have requested human military advisors. How many can we spare? Ross smiles. Humanity came to save one dying race and ended up teaching an entire galaxy how to live. Not through peace, not through diplomacy, but through the simple recognition that some things are worth fighting for. The age of easy victims is over. The galaxy's new guardians have sharp teeth and long memories. And they're just getting started. Asterisk.